Well, good morning, everyone. Pastor Corey Rowan here with Yerkesville First, Midvale, and Newport United Methodist Church, coming at you with another devotional out of the book of Romans, and it's Romans 12, verse 3, and it says, "Because of the privilege and the authority God has given me, I give each of you this warning." And so Paul is first off, he's giving us a warning that comes from God, and he's is saying that this is not coming from his authority, this is not coming from human authority, but from God himself. And he says, "Do not think you are better than you really are. Be honest in your evaluation of yourselves. Measure yourself by the faith God has given you." What a wonderful test to measure ourselves. Paul is clearly warning Christians to not think of themselves as better than they ought. And I'm going to be honest with you, one of the things that Christians struggle with is this idea of thinking themselves as better than they actually are, or better than somebody else. You know, it's as Christians, we know what sin is, and when we see people doing this sin, we can often think, "Oh, I'm not like them. I don't do that sin." But Paul is saying, don't think of yourselves as better than somebody else. We are not. We are not saved. Christians are not saved because they are better than anyone else. We are saved because of the grace of God. And so he says, be honest in your evaluation of yourself. And what's the best way to be honest? If you want an honest evaluation, it says measure yourself by the faith God has given you. That is the way to evaluate yourself. Not by your accomplishments, not by your achievements, not by any award that you get, but the faith that God has given you. How strong is your faith? How strong is the faith that God has given you? This is the true measurement. This is how to have an honest evaluation of yourself. You know, it's not even good to evaluate you based on praises that others give you. In fact, it's not a good idea to listen to their praises, because then we can get a swelled head and we can think of themselves as better than we ought. And so the truth of the matter is we should not think of ourselves as better than anyone. We should not think of ourselves as more highly than we ought. In fact, the better attitude is to say, I am, as Paul would say, I am chief among sinners. I am the worst of the worst, and yet I am saved. And so when we talk with other people, when we present Christ to those in the world, when we present Christ to sinners, let us present the honest message of Jesus, saying that we are saved by grace. Let us come to others and say, we are not better than you, but we have the message that could save you. And let us measure ourselves by the faith that God has given us. Amen.